Oh, that's hot. Good evening, everybody. I can see you all on the tube. Let's check Facebook. Facebook is working. Whoop, whoop. That's always a bonus. How are we all? We'll give everybody a few minutes to get here. Hi, Sue. It's just me and Sue at the minute. I think you're going to like this card. Back to normal. Let's take that off. Back to normal. There's quite a bit to do, but it'll be fabulous. I thought it's high time we got back to a pretty card with loads of... Oh, that don't bode well, does it? Look how much water we've got for tonight's demo. No, I've got another one, don't worry. Yeah, I think you're going to like tonight. I thought it's time we got back to normal and did something easy-ish, but super fabulous and very gorgeous. So if you're a member of our Facebook group, you will have seen earlier that I let you choose the colour palette for tonight. So we are doing autumnal colours. You can see I've got lots of white card here. And this is a DL top fold, so something a little bit different. I'll tell you how I made the DL top fold card in a moment. Let's just let everybody get here. You've had a fall downstairs, oh bless you. Well, that's not really a good enough excuse, David. I'm sure you could manage to get there. So good evening to everybody I haven't spoken to already. For some reason the camera looks really close again, but it isn't. It's exactly the same as before. Oh, happy birthday, Margaret. And anybody else who's celebrating a birthday today. Cutting flowers and foliage for your daughter's birthday card. I know it's good fun. It's good fun. Yeah, so we're going to use the paints tonight in a couple of different ways. Because we can, and that's how, because they're fabulous. And we're going to have some dusting of paint rather than actual paint. So I'll tell you what I mean by that when we get to that stage. We'll just hang on and let everybody else get here. Oh, bless you. So, and the weather off. Mind you, I'm saying I hate this weather because it gives me migraines. So for some reason, when the weather changes... Oh, I've got the wrong glasses on. For some reason, when the weather changes and it's autumnal, which is what it is now, I think the change in air pressure affects my brain. I'm going to say brain in the loosest sense of the word, obviously. But yeah, so it's very strange. But anyway, I do like the cozy nights. I don't like dark nights, but I do like the cozy nights. So I do like autumn as a season. It just doesn't like me very much, which is quite rude, to be honest. But there you go. So good evening, yeah, Mughead. Yeah, I think it's the weather. So it is. Hi, Phil. Everyone. Thanks. Got some fab things in the manager slot on Hobby Maker this afternoon. Oh, that's brilliant. Well done, Vanessa. I forgot that we're doing that, to be honest with you. You've got Karen to thank for that, really, because she organised everything. So we are using a mix of products tonight, and this is me back in my comfort zone. Not that I'm ever not in my comfort zone, but you know what I mean. This is a typical what you would expect from me. I've done zero prep apart from the die cutting because I wanted to show you this from start to finish, so you can see what kind of layout I've got. And there's a fair bit to do, but it should be a little bit quicker than we think. So we are doing some stamping. We are using some greyboard. Obviously I've used quite a few dies. I am using the trellis. Now, shouldn't I have poked all these bits out before we started? That would have saved a little bit of time. So I'm using the trellis A5. Ow! The trellis A5 greyboard. Behind the raised aperture part of this card. Now this is something you've seen me do before, and it's a really good way of using the greyboard sheets. So the A5 background sheets like this, the trellis for example, it's a really good way to use them. Let me just poke all these bits out. I should have done that. Honestly, I've got no excuses other than I have been busy, as the design team have seen in our little Facebook group, and they're not being much help to me. Helen has replied, Angela's just said she can't choose. And neither could I, Angela, which is why I asked it all of you. So obviously I'm saving all these diamonds. Don't waste any of that. You all know that I advocate the greyboard. I think it's just one of those fabulous products that doesn't weigh anything, and it adds lots of dimension and texture to your projects without the weight. I've not been here for a while. I've been... Oh, bless you. Well, welcome back, Alison. Hi, Jenny. Lady M. Is that marmalade? Marmalade? Is that what the M stands for? I haven't used your greyboard ones yet, so happy to see you. Yeah, I think you'll like what you're doing tonight. So next week, don't miss Monday night, because we've got a new sneaky peek and a new pre-order for next Monday, which is really rather marvellous, and it's something that you asked me to do, so you better like them. So let's take all these bits off and show you what I've done. So if you want to copy this, I'm not going to do all the measurements, but I'll show you how I've done what I've done. So for those of you that have seen these, this is one of my A5 top fold cards. Obviously you can use it sideways as well. And I know hundreds of you have bought the A5 top fold cards. So all I've done basically is, here it is, chop the side off to make it a DL. So this is actually a little bit larger than DL. So traditional DL size is 10.5 by 21. But I've made this 11 centimeters wide by 21 tall. So 11 wide by 21 tall. And that's purely because I wanted to create the extra panels on the top of this card, and that will allow you to do this. It's just a centimetre, but believe you me, a centimetre makes a massive difference. And you know me well enough to know that I'm not throwing this away. This will work for my sentiments. I don't throw anything away. So we've got the base of the card, which is, as I say, 11 by 21. Remember... What have I missed? Oh, I don't blame you, Brenda. Don't even say it, Elaine. Don't let him say it. Can spend an hour today. Oh, that's brilliant, Hope. Well, let's see how far we get. Saz, you need to look in the DT Facebook group. You can't look now because you probably could actually, because it's a different page. Oh, I'm glad you got some bargains, Vanessa. So Vanessa on YouTube's just mentioned that we've taken part in the manager's special thing over on Hobbymaker. So do keep an eye out for the manager's special shows, because there are some bargains to be had there. Yeah, so it probably does, Carol. Hi, Linda. Hi to everybody I've not spoken to. It does. It absolutely does, Carol, especially in this weather. So 11 by 21. For those of you that are going to have a go at this, 11 by 21, 10.5 by 20.5, 10 by 20. These are all centimetres. 8 by 18 and 17.5 by 7.5. If you want me to repeat that later, I shall. So we're going to start with the base of this card. This is a really, really, really good layout for a DL card. So whether you do it as a top fold or whether you do it as a traditional side fold card, i.e. your creases on the side, it won't matter. But this is a really, really good layout. It makes the most of the length that we've got with the DL. I'm going to mute you, Lee, if you say it again. So basically, we've got these panels that we can play with. Now, I know that on the smaller one, I'm going to stamp, and I have chosen for tonight's stamp. I thought this went quite nicely with the autumnal theme. So I've got the vintage timepieces journal page, which has got the clocks and everything in it. Now, you already know that the journal page stamps have the torn edge, the ring binder edge, and they have horizontal lines. So you know I'm going to stamp it the other way so that my lines are facing the other direction. I'm not doing any stamping until the end, until I decide what colour paints we're using. And then I've also got I've not used these for ages, and I just happened to find them on my shelf. So we've got the trio frame mindful sentiment. So for anybody who hasn't seen these, the trio frame stamps are sentiments that you can mix and match, but they have 3 frames around them, look. So that gives you 3 different ways to cut these out. So effectively, this has got how many? 27. So it's 27 times 3. That's how many options you've got on there. And then I'm using one of my favoritist flowers. And I'm just going to say now, Karen's done her usual thing for you all. And the main things, or the dies and the stamps, they've all got a discount on for this week. So you'll find a link when Karen puts it on, or when somebody puts it on, and those deals will last until the things have sold out, or until the end of this week. So this is a new thing that we do for you now. So you all know I do the happy hour deals on a Thursday evening in our Facebook group. But now on a Monday evening, we're trying to tie in what I'm using, or the majority of what I'm using. We're trying to tie that in with some discounts as well. So it's just a win-win-win. It's our way of giving back. So I've got here the Aperture. This is what will create my floating Aperture. And I've used the debossed double-stitched ovals for this. Now, anybody that knows me knows I can't tell you how useful oval dies are. If you haven't got these oval dies, treat yourself, because ovals are just perfect on any card. We always go for circles, we always go for squares. I always go for ovals first. There you go. And you can see just how fab that's going to be on this DL card. It just works. So we're going to start from the bottom of this card and work our way up. I am using the chalk paints. I haven't chosen the colours yet. We're going to do that next. I'm just separating the flowers because I've got two cascades for the flowers. So chalk paints. Chalk paints. I've not used them for what feels like forever. So we are using them tonight. And I'm looking for some autumnal kind of colours. So let's have Indian Sunset. Let's have... Do I want red? Yeah, let's have Roses Are Red. Let's just have a little bit of Roses Are Red. So Indian Sunset, which is actually like a burnt orange kind of colour. Roses Are Red, Indian Sunset. What's this one? Olive. Do I want olive, or shall I go darker? No, let's have olive. So I've got an orangey colour. I'm just going to cough. That's because I don't stop talking. Get a drink, Phil. Yeah, get your chalk paints out, Elaine. Don't they look pretty in this tub as well? I'm tempted to not use the olive. For some reason, I'm gravitating towards this one. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm changing my mind. And then we need a yellow. I'm just going to cough again. Hang on. Do you know what? That's what I've been like since I've got back from Tenerife. Cold and coffee. Which one's this? Lemon drizzle. Banana split. Oh, custard slice. I'm going for banana split. And then obviously I need a brown. Right, so that is my colour palette. I'm chucking the orange in as well. So let's just make sure they are the right way up. They are. I do need a stippling brush. Let me just see if I've got a dirty one somewhere. You know I like my dirty brushes better. Yeah, that'll do nicely. And I'll pop the paints to one side and we'll come back to them. Right, so before I do anything, I'm going to create myself a little palette so we can check that these colours are what we want. Second row middle orange. I'm hoping you meant that one. So we're just going to create ourselves a little palette just so we can see how everything is going to work. I've not used these for a few weeks, so I'll just give them a shake up. Sorry, that's going to make everybody dizzy. Let me do it away from the camera. And I do know that the last time I used my red, I added some water to it. Let me just see if it's still fluid enough. Yeah, it's probably too fluid, but that's perfect. That's perfect. Remember, once if you want to dilute the paints, you absolutely can. Just don't do what I did and put too much in. It's easier to add more than take it away. So let's start with the orange. So this is me just testing my colours. And I would probably advocate this for you, regardless of how experienced you are with the paints. It's a good job this is my working set. Oops. Oops, it's a good job we've got two sides as well. And yes, I did say oops instead of what was actually on my mind. The word oops is going to be used a lot. So here we go. And remember, we're not actually painting the flowers, we are just dusting them. So it's slightly different to painting them solid. So for anybody who hasn't seen these paints before, you need them in your life. Everybody needs a set of the chalk paints in their life. I don't care which set you get, just get yourself a set because they will transform your crafting and particularly your die cutting and what have you. I do need more brushes, don't I? Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I won't use much of the yellow, but I do know I need it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these little brushes, by the way, these little stipple brushes, I'll tell you where I got them from. Not the tall ones, the little small ones. They're just from Amazon. Just put stipple brushes in Amazon, and they were about £3, I think, for a pack of 4. And for what we do with them, for what we're going to do with these brushes, that's all you really need. So good evening to everybody who I haven't spoken to already. Let's see where we go. I might introduce the olive. I know I dissed it, but that might just be too fresh. Oops. So that means I need another brush. Yeah, I think that one's more autumnal than that, but let me leave it just in case. Just in case. And I've got a brush for every colour. A brush for every colour because I can. Bought a couple of packets recently. Yeah, they're not expensive, these little brushes, and it doesn't matter when they get well, you all know, if you've watched me enough, you'll know that I quite like it when they get grotty like this. So let's just do a little check. So I've obviously used this one for red before, so let's just get some red on there. And I'm just trying to loosely match up the colours that I've used. And that's the brighter green, which is rainforest. I'm just testing colours at the moment. I'm not doing anything particularly exciting. That is olive. Oops, that's far too much paint, Mr. Martin. That one is the yellow. Then, yeah, it looks like I added water to this one as well. Remember that, everybody, because it's a useful tip to add some water to your paints. You all know that they are water reactive anyway. They are water based. Might not need this colour. No, I do need this colour. I know it looks like a big splodgy mess, but it won't do when we've done. And then brown. That's the wrong brush. That looks quite autumnal to me, if I don't mind saying so. So we've got a lovely little autumnal palette going on there. So this is a really good way to test your colours. It's just a scrap of card, look. Which one did I miss? Which one did I miss? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which one am I missing? Red. There we go. So that is us tested the colours now. And remember, the good thing about these paints, or one of the best things about these paints, is we can go back in. So I mean, that's drying really lovely, look at that. But if I decide I want a little bit more red in there, I can do that. Or if I want a little bit more orange or a little bit more green or whatever, you can do that. So that is proper rustic autumn. And now I'm playing, sorry. La, 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 la. And I was right, everybody, it does need that olive green in. There we go. So that's my palette, and now I know exactly what I'm doing. So from this, we're going to create a watercolour background. So we're going to, on this layer here, which is the top layer of the base of the card, I'm going to create a watery edge. So let me just give you a tip. If you want to have a go at this card, we could do this. In fact, I might do, because that actually looks really rather lovely. Do you know what I am? Do you mind? Well, it's rhetorical because I'm doing it anyway. That's what we're going to do. So let me just tell you what I was going to do is put all the paints on here, mist it with water and drag it and pick the colour up. But I'm actually not, because I really like this. I really like this effect. So let's do it. Now, if you're not experienced with paints, or if you're a little bit scared of them, you absolutely don't need to be. You absolutely don't need to be. Let me just see how much space I need. So I need to come in about 1.5 centimetres. There is literally no right or wrong way to this. I am just going to tell you that what I would do instinctively. So instinctively, I would start with the strongest colour. And the strongest colour for me in this palette that we've got here is actually the red. And if I show you this, look, although I did add a little bit more red, the red has now been knocked back to the base of this. And that's exactly what we want. I'm good at rhetorical questions, Brenda. I'm good at asking questions when I already know the answer. So, are you ready for how tricky this is? Don't panic about your card. Don't panic about too much colour. In fact, do you know what? Just don't panic, full stop. So, I'm going on and I'm just adding some red. I don't care about patches. I don't care about bits missing. I don't care about the scratchy bit from the pen, from the brush. This is all texture, and you've heard us all say it over the years. Trust the process, and that's exactly what you have to do. I mean, look how strong this red is, even though I've diluted this with water. That's fabulous. And you know what I'm going to do whilst we've still got this colour out? I am going to do my trellis at the same time. So we're now bringing in the foreground and the background together. So let me just see how much space I need, because this is going over the top of there and I don't want to waste any of this. So let's just cut that out roughly. I don't want to waste any of this trellis, so may as well do it while the paints are out. Which bit have I missed? That bit, that bit, that bit, that bit, that bit, that bit. So I'll save that and we'll do the trellis at the same time. So by doing the trellis at the same time, we're just creating the same effect. So all over. I don't need to prime the greyboard. Remember, the paints are too good, so you don't need primer on the greyboard. Just go straight on. In fact, you can actually see where this red is drying almost instantly. This is my comfort zone, so for Phill, who doesn't do dirty, oops, that's a bit too wet. It's not particularly dirty, everybody, it's just paint. And for that, if you do feel like you need to dilute your paints, do it with a mister. Don't do what I did. Just do it with a mister and keep adding it rather than pouring it in like I did, because that was a silly thing to do. We'll go in with the darker green now. So this is the, I keep forgetting what that one's called, pine plate, what, rainforest, pine, pain, rain, rainforest. I'm turning it round so I can see all the names, and then I can keep reminding you. So we're going in now with rainforest. So onto the card. The good thing about this as well is because these paints are chalky, it doesn't really warp your card. You would have to, pretend you didn't see that. You would have to really saturate the card for it to warp the cardstock. So we're basically just building up colour, building up layers. I'll just check that I've gone far enough in. Let me just double check. Yep, marvellous. And then we will cut off fireworks still. And then we will do the same with the trellis. I can't see what anybody's saying to me at the moment because I'm too engrossed in this. Don't worry about contaminating your, like getting a bit of red on your brush. Just make sure you don't get it in the paint itself. Looks like camouflage, which basically is what autumn is. Okay, so moving on. So we've done the red, we've done the rainforest. We're going to go in with the orange. You can get some fabulous effects with the chalk paints. I'll bring this in and show you a bit closer. So we're going in with the orange next, which is perfectly something, pumpkin. And it looks like this is one that I've diluted as well. So I'm just going to take off some of the excess. Remember as well, if you're new to me, if you have a look at the YouTube channel, I've actually shown you how to get rust effects from the paints as well. So there is a video on YouTube of me showing you how to make your die cuts look rusty and your air dry clay, that kind of thing. You can actually see already, look how it starts to look just from 3 colours, look. So clever. And then here we go. Don't get that on your lovely mat, Phil. And this is the stage where you look at it and you think, oh my word, what is that mess? But trust me. Trust me and trust the process. So now if you look where I've gone over the red with the orange, we've effectively made that red look like a really deep burnt orange. It's very clever. I'm just trying to move this around a bit. I am now filling the white bits in on the edge of the card. We don't do no lick and stick. We're not lick and stick crafters. Got all these lovely products, so let's use them. Right, so that's the orange. I'm going in next with the coral, the Indian sunset, which is the peacher. The peacher, the more peach. Peacher. Oh no, we're having peacher. I like peacher. Which is the peacher colour. I think I need another holiday. So remember, we've not touched any of the die cuts yet. We're literally doing the groundwork for this card. So this is all the groundwork. And then we'll do the same. Let me just get a bit from the pot because that's quite thick. Phil, do you not know what the M stands for in my name? I'm sure I've told you before. So until we add the brown to this, it looks a little bit like sick. But it won't do for long, I promise you. You can obviously emphasize whichever colour you want as well. So if you want it more red, more brown, more yellow, you absolutely can. Did I do it on there? Yes, I did. Now we're going to go in with the yellow. Sorry, sorry, Linda. Oh, Maestro, we'll have that. Where am I at? We're on the yellow now, so I'm not having a lot of the yellow, and the yellow is banana split, but I am putting a little bit in. So you can see how, I don't know whether you can see from the screen how these colours just sit on top of each other. This is what makes them special. If you look, that banana split I've just added on there has gone over the top of all those colours that are much stronger, and that's what makes these paints so good. We're building up layers, but we're actually adding colour on top of colour. And I've not touched any of the flowers yet. You can see how this is developing, which is really fabulous. And this is perhaps something that you wouldn't try yourself, so hopefully I've given you some inspiration to have a go. Or wait till the end of the project and then decide. I can't tell you how fabulous greyboard is. Let me just check I'm covering everything. Oh yeah, that's going to be beautiful. And then moving on to the, I'm leaving the brown till last. So I'm moving on to the olive now. And I have used 7 colours, but in all honesty, you could omit the Indian sunset and just stick with the pumpkin, but for depth I think it's worth doing. Oh, just take some of that excess off. So we're now knocking these colours back with the olive. It's almost like doing inky techniques but with paints, so the texture is completely different. You can see that changing already, look. And I will show you how to stick this onto your card once it's dried out a bit. This is taking longer than had I have watercoloured it, but I think it was the right decision. So I'm not aiming anywhere in particular when I do this, I'm just going everywhere, just randomly. So the olive colour really does knock the colour back, and in actual fact, if I hold this up for you, look, you can actually see it starting to look more autumnal. We've had fireworks for weeks. Right, so the last colour, and then we repeat some of this. So the last colour is the brown. I don't know whether you've noticed, but I've purposefully not waited for it to dry. It does dry really quickly, but I've purposefully not waited. I'm just going to change this brush because it's too shallow. It's not deep enough. It needs to be a little bit deeper. All the bristles need to be a little bit longer. No, I need a new one. So I'm just chuck that in my water pot. Stop it drying out. That's better. So in case you're wondering why I've done that, the bristles were a little bit too short on that other one, so it wasn't giving me the the little scratchy bits, because that's what we want. So now in with the brown. Can't really do this wrong. There's only two more things we need to do to this, and that is just let the brown settle and dry in a little bit, because I've got quite a bit there, look. And then we're going to highlight some of the areas with the orange and then knock it back again. So the brown, the green and the orange and the red are what make it look really autumnal. So I'll let that dry for a second just while we do the greyboard. Oh, I meant to ask you all, has anybody been watching The Hard Acres? I had to think about what I said then. It's a period drama thing. I quite enjoyed it. It's on tonight at 9. So we've now knocked back, and what we're going to do is leave that for a second. You can see now that that looks marvellous. Phill, which size piece are you working on? This is the 21. This is the 21 by 10 and a half. 10 by 20. 10 by 20. So orange. I'm taking off quite a lot of the excess. And we're now just blending in some of that brown. This is why these paints are so good. They don't all do this, trust me. And then I'm going to be really brave and add a little bit of the red to this before I finish off. With some of the green. And trust me, oh yeah, olive was the right choice. When this is on the card, and it's all matted and layered and looking lovely. It looks a mess at the minute because you're just looking at it as it is there. But when this is on the card and it's all layered up, it will look fabulous. Love that. Oops, I'm faffing, sorry. I'm just looking where it's too bright, and where it's too bright, I'm adding a little bit more brown. No, that's perfect. And we'll put that to one side now and just leave that all to dry. Lovely jubbly. I'm quite pleased with that. So when I put this over the top, look how fab that looks. In fact, I might have a bit more orange. I know, I'm sorry, I'm faffing. Where's the orange brush? Remember, stippling is best. Stippling is what gives you the texture. Yeah, perfect. So that can now just all go to one side and I'll leave that to dry. That'll be dry in no time at all. Oh, cat's curled up next to you. Quite right. No. I do love a good faff. Faffy Phill. We'll have that. Actually, that would be lovely to die cut the flowers from, but we're not going to do that. We are going to dust the flowers. Let me get a drink. The chalk paints are awesome. The things you can do are just phenomenal. So what do I mean by dusting? It's dry brushing. And this is a really nice way to introduce colour to your flowers without colouring the whole thing in. And when you're using strong colours, that is probably what I would suggest that you do. So I already know which order these flowers are going in on my card. And we're going to sort of replicate what we've just done on that background, but only sort of. So move them back. I'm not going back into them paint pots unless I absolutely have to now. So I think we'll probably get away with just the 3 colours and a little bit of green for this. So the red, the orange, the brown, and I think we'll go with olive for this rather than any of the other colours. Yeah. He's as good as gold. He's sitting over there looking at me, Aston McMartin. So what we're going to do now is use the paint that's already on the brushes, and I'm not going to cover the whole thing. I'm using, and I've chosen these on purpose. I've chosen the Dotty Daisies. Now, I love the Dotty Daisies. I always have done. You know I do. So these I believe, and Karen will correct me if I'm wrong, these are in the offer as well until they've gone. But the Dotty Daisies are nearly all gone, everybody. They won't be coming back. They will definitely not be coming back because we've restocked and moved away from them now. So what we're going to do is we're going to dry brush from the centre out. So I'm literally just going to dry brush from the centre out. And you can go as far as you want. And it's a slightly different effect to what you've seen me do before. Because effectively we're just dusting the colour over the top. So I'm not going to reapply any paint until I absolutely have to. And we've got to do all these colours. So I'm leaving the tips of the flowers white. Get a drink. I've not stopped talking again, have I? Who's got a power cut? Angela's got a power cut. So all I'm trying to do is avoid the end of the flowers. Sorry everybody, I might need to go and blow my nose. Here we are, look. Back from the sunshine, back with the cold. So I'm now getting to the stage where we've almost run out. This is why these brushes are so good. All that scratchiness is exactly what we're looking for. So if you do need to reapply, do it that way. Because we don't want too much colour. I'm going to do these in 2 sets. I've got the same number of flowers for the top right, bottom left. Just bear with me a minute, everybody. I need to go and blow my nose. Hang on. Don't listen. You see, I'm just not built for colder climates. Right, so here we go. Did you hear me? I always come back from holiday with a cold. Red first, then the orange. And I'm just going to show you the difference between the red and then the red with the orange on. You can see how that's changing already, look. Just remember to leave the tips of your flowers white. So when we put this whole card together, when you've got strong colours on your project, the white balances it really nicely. Probably Judy, because it was absolutely freezing on the plane. Absolutely freezing. In fact, if anybody's got a good blanket for the plane that fits into your hand luggage, send me a link to it, please, because I'm definitely going to buy one. It was absolutely Baltic on the plane coming back, and I had a jumper on. I had my coat round my shoulders. Oh, these are going to be so good. Let me just get a bit more orange. Completely different. You've not seen me do flowers like this before with the paints. You've seen me watercolour with them. You've seen me colour the whole flower with them. You haven't seen me dust the paint on like this. I do need to repeat this for the others though, so bear with. And then we'll add the green next, I think. So this is the olive. They used to do Elaine. You've been back 3 weeks. I have been back 3 weeks, but do you know what? I ain't had a minute to myself since I got back. So now with the green, here we go. Here we go. This is fabulous already. I'm going to get a bit more of this. That's better. So exactly the same way, we're not trying to cover the whole thing. We're just adding some colour. Have I been back 3 weeks, really? Feels like 7 months. Oh, that was too much. That's what not to do, everybody. That was too much. I should have told you, don't apply any pressure when you're doing this. Just let the brush do the job. And then we'll have a little bit of brown. Yeah, get your violins out, please. Oh, this is so good. Do you know what? You can never say that we do the same thing all the time. I mean, the chalk paints have been doing them for ages, and this is so good. So what happens is, I don't know whether you can see this, but I'll bring them in and show you a close-up in a minute. What happens is the middle of the flowers is obviously the darkest. I'm just going back in with a little bit more red. But that's the part that we're not going to see. So basically what we've done is we've created, that's it. We've created wispy bits at the end of these petals, look, in the different colours. Can you see? So when this is shaped and the pearls in the middle, or whatever I decide to put in the middle, it's going to look amazing. And should you decide, which I might do in a minute, should you decide, you can add a little bit more of whatever colour you want to be on the more dominant side. So I will probably add a little bit more orange to these before we move on. It's so good. I love it when things work properly. And then I am just going to finish with a little bit of orange. See if there's enough still left on there. No, it's dried up. So good. It's just a fabulous technique, this, to use your paints in a different way. You can't really do this with ink pads because you lose too much of the intensity when you're doing it. So remember, the tips should all be more or less white. I think it needs a bit more green, but I won't mess now because I've got the others still to do. Oh, look at that. Oh, love it. You're gonna hate me, I'm sorry, but I am adding a touch more green. I just want a little bit more green showing. That's so good. Can you imagine Hobby Maker if I said, right, we're doing some autumnal flowers? It'll take me an hour just to do the flowers. Oops, sugar. Just went straight into that one. Should know better. Right, I'm going to stop because I've got the others to do. So they can all go over there. Remember, don't worry about the middle of your flowers. It's the petals that you need to be more concerned about. If you've used the paint and it's dried on your mat like here, oh, you can't see it. But yes, you can just spray it with water. Oh, one little flutterby. I'm going to quickly do these because I need them to be the same. Remember to make sure that your debossed dots are the right way up because it actually adds texture, look. You can see, look, we've got some texture going on there. 2 small ones. Right, so forgive me, I'm going to do this super quick, or as quick as I can. Remember, we are effectively dry brushing. So I am doing this quicker. This is something I would never get time to do on TV, because it does take time to build up. It does take time to build up the colour, and it's that intensity of colour that we're looking for. So while I'm repeating what I've just done, now's a good time to get on the link. Oh sugar, that was too much pain. Get on the links, go and treat yourself. Get these daisy dies, get the oval dies. The daisy dies will be no more. So once that bit of stock that we've got left is gone, there will be no more. What did I do second? I can't remember. Can anybody remember what I did second? Let me just think. Might have been the green. Might have been green. Did I do? No, it'll be orange. I need a Monday night assistant. What I think I need, I've done it again, look, too. This is what happens when you have too much paint on the brush. So don't do what I did, just make sure you're dry brushing. I think I've done this the wrong order, but it won't matter. That's because I'm trying to be quick now. I think I can't even tell you, but what I've just been doing for the last few days is finishing off the designs for something new. And I'm assuming Saz has been and had a look now. Where's the green? Oh, there you are. I think it's more a case of this is what happens when you have 40 flowers. There's not 40, there's only 16, I think. Months is what happens when you rush, yeah. So here we go. It won't matter really, the order doesn't matter too much, but I tend to start with the stronger colours first, because we're effectively knocking the colour back every time we add a new layer. And this is what's so good about these paints. I've probably done this in a completely different order, but the overall effect will give us the same as the other flowers. You know me, any which way you can decorate a flower. It's all in the details. You'll notice I am only using the paint as much as I can from the lid. And that's definitely something that I advocate. Burn. Slow but sure, we are getting there. We've got ages yet, it's only 8:10. So I'm in with the brown now. And the brown, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's something chocolate, dreamy chocolate. The brown is actually quite a strong colour as well, but it dries a beautiful chocolatey colour. Oh, these look so good. And then a bit more red. And if I remember rightly, I finished with the olive green. So I'll just finish off with a little bit of the olive green, and then I can put these to one side and leave them be. Perfect. So if you wanted a little bit more orange, you can do that. You can actually go in with whatever colour you want. So at this stage, you could leave these just to dry, just give it a minute or two for the paint to dry. And then you could go in with whichever colour you wanted to be your main colour. Just making sure they match. Of course they do. Of course they do. Right, so I'll leave the daisies on there. I've just got the leaves to do, but the leaves I am doing solid. So this is a slightly different thing, because the leaves, oh, I think these are in the deal as well. Lovely leaves. Isn't that pretty? So lovely leaves are on the offer, and the same as the daisies, lovely leaves are going to be gone very, very soon. So this time I am doing these solid. So I'm literally brushing the paint over, because I want solid colour on the leaves. Still using the stippling brush. I won't change the brushes unless I absolutely have to. Now you know why I love kitchen rolls so much. So, coat of red. Coat of orange, but not as much as the red. I am doing this quick, I know. Forgive me. The other reason I use the paint from the lid is because if you contaminate the paint that's in the lid, it's easy to just wash it out. So it doesn't matter if you contaminate the lid. Green, and I am sticking to the olive. So all I'm trying to do, just so you know, all I'm trying to do is, as I get down the colours, I'm just trying to use less and less paint. I'll bring it in and show you in a second. just show you what it looks like at the minute. That's how it looks at the minute. I'm having a lovely time. I hope you are, because I am. I know you're watching me, but while I'm just doing the boring bits, go and do your shopping. And then brown. So remember, brown is a super strong colour. I've got way too much on there. I'm not letting this dry, by the way. So I am going in whilst the paint is still wet. And I don't know whether you can see what I'm doing, but I'm actually scraping the brush across so we get the texture. Oops, that helps if you have some paint on there, Phil. So I'm not covering the whole thing. I've just got to go back in with the orange and the green and the orange again. Yeah. So scraping the brush the way I did, look, following the shape of the leaf, it actually adds a little bit of texture. Oh, that's the wrong colour. I'm doing a little bit of extra orange, a little bit of extra green, because I don't want it to look rusty. I want it to look autumnal. Oh, that's so good. And then I'm just going to tittivate with the red. I know I've done that very quick, I'm sorry. I'm finishing off with a little bit of red. And just so you know, everybody, if you're going to have a go at this, do put your brushes in to soak. If you keep them in water once you've done. Excuse me. Oh, look at that. Aren't they beautiful? So leave that to dry. The butterfly is staying white. I know we don't get butterflies really, but we are having a white one. Right, so just give me a second to tidy up now. Do I need the brushes again? Stop. No, put the brushes away, Mr. Martin, and then you're not going to be tempted. So all my brushes have now just gone into my little water jar. The flowers are dry. Didn't really use Indian Sunset and the yellow much, but I did on the background. I didn't on the flowers because I didn't want that colour in them. The other good thing about using this kind of colour palette is when you come to stamp your sentiment, I've got about 7 different choices to choose from which colour to pick out. I know if I was Leonie, she'd be using that, but I'm not. That's going into bin. So let's just clean this up. I don't mind getting dirty fingers as long as I can clean it up. It's very rare you'll see me use a StazOn or anything that's permanent. Right. Here we go. So you've just seen me do that from scratch. Now it's time to put the flowers together so you can see what they actually look like. When you put them together. So what you can see as you look at these is you can see the little bits of orange, bits of green, bits of red. And at this stage, because these are now bone dry, if you decide, oh, do you know what, I wished I'd got a little bit more yellow or a little bit more red or whatever, you can absolutely go in with that as well. So you can go back in. Just remember, try and avoid the tips because that's what makes them stand out. I'm just looking for my foam mat. Oops, and there you are. So we're going to shape these super quickly. And I know that I want my amber gems, so bear with me while I find them. Amber, where are you? No, that's not amber. Did I have amber when I was on TV the other day? I think I did. So I know where they are. Amber. And no, I don't know whether anybody told me that I've been crafting for the last hour and a bit with the wrong glasses on. If you did tell me, thank you. If you had glitter, you absolutely could. Got moths. That is Phil's next mission, the kitchen paper, yeah. Do you ever craft for yourself, Phil, just to relax? Funnily enough, Audrey, no. I always sit thinking, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And the problem is, when I get up to my craft room, I end up working. Now, I have got a few projects that I've been working on secretly that you don't know about, that nobody knows about. But I've been working on them for ages. So this is when you see these flowers start to come together. This is the best part. So let's just get these stuck together. These are all double except for one small daisy. So these are all in doubles. Oh, this is so good. Look at that. There you go. Look, you can see all the colours. You can see the orange, the red, the green, the brown. Fabulous. So let me just get these all put together. Yeah, so it's very rare that I do craft for myself, but I've got to say, Audrey, this kind of is for myself. I mean, you know me well enough to know that I only do what I like to do anyway. So me doing this is me actually crafting for myself because I enjoy this. This is my favourite part because people might be watching and thinking, do you know what, I would never have thought to do that. And for me, I get the most pleasure from that. So I enjoy doing the things that you think you would never do and showing you how easy it is to do. That's what I like to do the most. So it's particularly because we've got lots and lots of new followers that have joined us since we joined Hobby Maker, who may not have even seen anything like Phill Martin. So A, welcome. B, I hope you've recovered. But you all know that this is my style. This is absolutely what I like to do. So I'm just doing this really, really quickly. I didn't want to do any of this ahead of time. A, because I hadn't had time. And B, because it's nice to show you from scratch. And that's what I like to do. They look almost sunflowerish. If we'd have done them more orange, we could have made these look like little sunflowers. I love these daisies. This one's for the middle of the big one. And I know that I can't keep up with the comments while you're talking to me whilst I'm crafting, so I do always read them later on when I have a coffee. Apple pie. Oh no, it's apple crumble tonight. So I should have some apple crumble ready for me when I've finished. When I've finished on here. Yeah, Phil's happy place. Absolutely it is. You could splat them with white. Yeah, absolutely you could with gesso. You could splat them with the coloured paints. So we could actually leave these to dry and then splat over them with the orange or the red or whatever. So that's the first set. Doesn't take long. And this card, when it's put together, you will understand in a moment what I mean about white space. We've got the trellis still to put in behind the oval aperture. I've purposefully not chosen a quick demo tonight because it seems like it's been forever since I've had time to do something like this from scratch for you. So I hope you've enjoyed it. They look so good. I would probably put a little bit more red in if I'm honest with you. But it's too late now. I feel like it just needs a little bit more red. In fact, in the paints, there's a lovely purple as well. I feel like I should have popped a little bit of purple underneath there. So together, together, together. They look so good. And let me just tell you, everybody, so for everybody who voted for the colour palette for tonight, for anybody who voted pinks or blues or whatever, you can absolutely do what I've just shown you with 3 or 4 different shades of pink, 3 or 4 different shades of blue, and you'll get this gorgeous effect from that as well. So it doesn't matter what colour palette you go for, you will still get this effect. Look at these. You need these daisy dyes, everybody. Look at that lovely texture in the middle of these flowers from the debossed dots. So I'm just skewiffying these. Almost done. Last couple. So I'll just do this super quick. We should have one that's left plain and the others are all layered up. Oops. And this is not decoupage. Oh, it's too good. Look at that. Oh. And then I've got a flower missing. Why have I got a flower missing? Right, we'll have to manage. I've definitely got a flower missing. That is going to bug me. That is going to annoy me. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've done something wrong. Anyway, let's get the amber gems in. So amber is the colour for autumn. And these will work lovely with this colour palette. So I'm not going to glitter these. I'm just going to put the gems in and pop these to one side. Yeah, that's perfect. Look at the colours on those leaves. Perfect. I've still got the wrong glasses on. Still got the wrong glasses on. I'm looking at these pearls, these gems, thinking, well, I can hardly see that. I need to get my eyes looked at again. Wrong glasses. So the amber gems are beautiful. They're like a gorgeous burnt orange. And there is no glitter going in these because there will be glitter on the actual card itself. So let's just pop them in, push them down. Oops. I might have just chopped a petal off that poor thing. I think this is why the daisy dyes are always so popular. Look how gorgeous they look. And just leave these to set for a minute. So whilst we let those set, I'm just going to quickly shape the leaves. And I'm just doing that with the bone folder. If I can find it. That is paint, by the way, just to clarify. So I'm just shaping these back. I love the lovely leaves. It's the shape of these petals or these leaves that I particularly like. So you'll notice that I purposefully made the leaves redder. And that's a conscious thing to make sure they are different to the flowers. That the leaves look rusty compared to the flowers, but that's fine. It's all gonna match. And now we'll move on to the actual card now and get the trellis in. So pop all the embellishments to one side. We'll bring in our trellis and our lovely background that is now bone dry. So I need to pop that onto the other layer. I keep saying oops. Well, it's better than the alternative. Or it's better than saying what's in my actual mind. So we've now got the painted background going on. So remember, if you've not seen me do this before, just get it lined up and then turn it over and rub from the other side, just so you're not rubbing paint over everywhere. And what we'll do with this is we will pop this underneath. Oh, look how good that looks on the white. We will pop this underneath something heavy. So I'm just going to pop it underneath my guillotine. Oops. And then we're going to come to the trellis. So this trellis is going straight onto the oval, and then we're going to finish the frame like this. So I've purposefully, look, not done anything to this die cut oval apart from get a few fingerprints on it. It's pure white. It's just left pure white. We're going to, in fact, let me do it with the brush glue. We're going to stick the trellis onto there, and we're just using the glue. So I'm just using the brush glue for this. Just bear in mind not to have too much on, like that, like I did there, look. And there, and there, and everywhere. So less is more with the glue. It will stick this on easy peasy. You just need to weight it down for a bit. So let's get this on. I'm going to stand up because ovals are tricky. And we will try and get that sort of central. I'm trying to find a point that I can use as my centerpiece. That will do nicely, thank you very much. And then we'll just hold that on. Let me find something to push that down with. This will do. That will do. I'll get a drink just whilst I'm doing that. Oops, my mouse has gone funny. Don't pull the leaves off. Right, so that is now fixed. And I'll snip off the excess. We've still got to stamp the clock stamp. So I'm just going to snip off the excess of this. Top tip, so just do it at a bit of an angle, look. Because I'm putting the frame over the top at the front, remember. So just chop that at a bit of an angle. It cuts really easily as well, which is a bit of a bonus. So we've now taken our... I think I've not got this lined up properly, but not to worry. And we've completely transformed our die cut oval with a little bit of trellis greyboard. And not added any weight to it. This is why I love it. For those of you that know me, you will know that I love greyboard. The things you can do are just marvellous. There we go. So we've created our lovely I'm going to save that, obviously. I'm not saving the little skinny bits. I should save that really, but I'm not. And then we're going to put the frame on with glue gel. before I do it. No, that'll do. That'll do. We are getting there. Oh, for good. I don't even know what to say to that, Rob. Not without it just sounding absolutely inappropriate. Cocktail stick, where are you? So I'm putting the frame on with glue gel for two reasons. Oh, I've probably dirtied it now. One, we know that the trellis is raised, so it needs to be able to sit in to the recessed parts. I'll just chop that bit off, that's it. And two, it will give us that little bit of lift as well. You can do this just with ordinary glue, by the way. So my PVA will stick to the greyboard just as well. You know, I don't like to make the job too easy. So I know this is a bit of a faff, but it is absolutely worth it. And you know I'm happy when I'm faffing. Almost done. We've still got a few jobs to do, remember. And I do this automatically. I've made this card in the order that I would make it if I was making it at home for myself anyway. Because all these bits can be settling and drying while we're doing the stampy bits. So now let's get this on. I'm going to have to clean that fingernail in a minute, it's bugging me. So the glue gel is giving us a little bit of a lift. So a little bit of a lift. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Look how good that looks. Who would have thought that that was greyboard 10 minutes ago? Don't move. So I think I just knocked it when I moved it. So now we're coming to the card itself, and on this piece here we are going to stamp the clocks. So we've got a couple of different options for this. I'm going to use the colours that I used for the sunflower stamp last week, and I love this stamp. I love all the big background stamps because there's just such a lot you can do with them. And remember I told you at the beginning of the demo, the big backgrounds on the journal pages, they've all got horizontal lines. Well, I'm going to stamp this like so, bearing in mind that the oval is going to sit just there, look. So effectively all I need to do is this part at the bottom and that part at the top. And I'm going to do the colours that I used on the sunflower card that we did in the happy hour. And we are going to do carved pumpkin and gathered twigs. I'm going to move this out of the way because I know what's going to happen. And we are going to do a watery background with this. So kitchen roll number 72, please. I'm going to do this on the actual acetate sheet. I'm not going to take it off the acetate sheet. I'm going to keep it on there. Have I used that much stuff? I've hardly got any room on my desk. Let me just move these paints. There we go. So I'm keeping this on the acetate. I know that I'm going to stamp, and I can choose which part I want to be seen the most. So we'll go on with the brown first, which is gathered twigs. And then we'll add in some whatever that was, carved pumpkin. We're going to spray the stamp with water. Oh, we are when we find the mister. So 6 or 7 sprays. The more water you put on, obviously the more watery it's going to be on your... I think that was about 11, but that'll be fine. So let's just try, bear with me if my hair gets in the underneath. So let's try and get the clocks, because that's what I want you to see. And I'm doing this by hand on purpose so that we get a lovely watery, hopefully. Oh yeah, lovely, look at that. And then the same at the other side. And a little bit of the carved pumpkin. Spray it with water. That might be one extra to the other. Rusty hinge absolutely would work, yeah, absolutely. But definitely put some brown in with rusty hinge. Rusty hinge is just a stronger, it's just a stronger colour, that's all. And because I've used the orange paint, I wanted the bit of orange to show. Marvellous. Clean my stamp. Why am I making a mess tonight? I promise you, everybody, it's not this messy when you're doing it yourself. But I am having a lovely time. Where did I put the packaging? I'll just put that there for now. And then we'll do the sentiment at the same time. So I've got my scraps somewhere. Where did I put that scrap? I've always got scraps of white card. So I'm using the trio frames, as I mentioned right at the very beginning of the demo. The trio frame give you 3 different options when you stamp them. Yeah, I'm in the zone. I've not read anybody's comments, but I will look later. So I love the mindful ones because it can just be absolutely anything. So I think we will have... Oh my word. Heart and soul. Oh my god, there's too many choices. Oh, choices. Oh, there's just too many choices. Come on, Phil. I don't want a big sentiment. I want a small one because it's coming off the oval. So, moments. What else have I got in there? Oh, tranquility, best life. No, I know what I'm doing. I knew I was going to choose this. So we've got live, moments. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the sentiments that I did with the background. So we're going to do it with the 2 colours. Let's see if I can get both on there. That's not going to happen, is it? Bear with. I've got so much white card. Why am I scratching about for a little 40 piece? But I am. There we go. I may as well do it all at the same time. It just makes more sense. So live moments. So on with the gathered twigs. Remember when you stamp these that you've got a solid part to the frame. Can you see there, look, where it's just a little bit heavier with the ink? So just make sure you've got a good coating on there. And then I'm going to be a bit leery and try and do the outer sides, the outer edges of these stamps. So when you're misting the sentiments with water, don't do as much as you do on the background because we still want it to be legible. Yeah. So I think I just did 4 there. Let's see if that's enough. Yeah, it is. It's perfect. Top tip, when you're using a watery sentiment, just leave the acrylic block on a little bit longer to just let the ink transfer to the card. Oh, look at that. Love it. Love, love, love. Oh, it's all working out rather well tonight. What's happened? Love the trio frame sentiments, always have done. Again, they are an older range. They are in the discounted section. I'm sure Karen's been posting links for you all, but I've not been watching. Can I suggest a star card demo? What kind of star card? One where you've got to do lots and lots of folding in that. I don't know whether I'd have enough time. Anyway, let's get this card put together. Leave the sentiment to dry. Remember I mentioned white space. So this stamped layer is going onto a white piece. To give us the separation between the stamped piece and the next layer, the base layer. No, I haven't finished yet. And oh, it's 10 to 9, crikey. Oh my word. Come on, Phil. I've got apple crumble at 9. I don't know whether you can tell, but I've had a thoroughly marvellous time doing this. Something with the star die. Did we use the star? Did I use the star last week? When did I use the star? I know I used it recently. Well, on Monday, it's Sneaky Peek pre-order with new stuff. So Monday's, oh, look at that. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So this is obviously going on foam tape. Apologies if I'm making you dizzy now, but I am speed crafting a little bit because I don't want burnt apple crumble. This is when you see it all come together and it's going to be stunning. I know it is. I'm almost tempted, and I hope you're sitting down when you hear me say this, I'm almost tempted to not use any glitter. I know. I know. Oh, Catherine, that's what my eyes are like. Oh, Elaine, bless you, darling. You've got the weekend to work. Right, where's my pokey tool? Oh dear. It's a bit chilly though, Elaine, so take a good blanket with you. No glitter, I know. We shall see. I will know when I put the card together whether it needs any sparkle or not. So I have put some doodah on there, some, what do you call it? Oh, you know I'm going to have to put glitter on this base layer. I can't not do it. This card is going to be stunning. I want to see everybody have a go at this. Next. If you've got the paints, you've got no excuse. And you don't have to do it in autumnal colours. Remember I mentioned earlier you could do this. You could do this with different shades of pink, different shades of blue, etc. So I am putting glue gel on this rather than my glue, just so I can get a little bit of extra lift. Just a little bit. Here we go. Almost done. I reckon we'll be another 5-10 minutes, but we are almost done. So now let's see which has the best stamping. And I'm going for the top. Now you see I don't know whether you can see this, but can you see the actual texture we get from the paints? It's amazing. Oh, that's just so good. Just make sure that's central. And now my oval. So the oval is going on next. I'm undecided on the glitter, I've got to be honest with you. I don't think it needs it. I don't think it needs any glitter, but let's see. So, glue gel on my oval. This is why the ovals are so good. If I don't even know whether I told you this. So when I was doing the prep earlier, when I was deciding what to do, ovals are really good on DL cards. Or A5 cards, anything that's tall. And this is a really good tip. This is a useful thing to remember. Oh, bloody hell. This is a really good thing to remember when you're using ovals, particularly on a DL or a tall card. If your top panel is narrower than the oval, the bit that overhangs actually looks really rather marvellous. So I'm going to turn this that way down because I got a little bit of paint on the white card. So let's get that popped on. This is so good. So I'm not squashing it all the way down, but I am taking it down a little bit. I'm just testing my eyes. Hang on a minute. Yeah, I think that's spot on. Oh, so good, so good. I'm going to make this again. No, I don't think it needs glitter. No, it's all right, Fran. Don't worry about it. I will... So now, daisies. So daisies are going on next. And this is where the whole... Oh! This is where the whole thing comes together. So here we go. So I already know where my flowers are going. So flowers first. So for anybody who's watching me for the first time, I apologise. So flowers go on first, and then the foliage goes on after. Because it's easier to tuck the foliage underneath your flowers. Oops. I knew there was some glue on my tweezers. When are you going to find time to make again in your busy life? I know. So there should be one small one. I can honestly tell you all, well, you all know this already, but even after all these years, it's still me that does. I do all the packaging, because I'm just too. I don't know what the right word is. So opposite corner for the other flowers. So you'll notice I've popped the flowers on the oval and not on the layer that's underneath. The flowers are on the oval. See, this, you have to trust the process, as everybody says. So whenever I get free time, it's just not free time. There's no if, buts or maybes. If ever it's quieter, let's put it that way, if ever it's quieter, I always find something to do. So I always think, oh, whilst it's quiet, I'll do such and such. I just noticed the glue gel had moved on there. maybe I just want things just so. So we've done opposites, but let me just give you a little tip. Let me just give you a little tip, because this is something that I've discovered over the years. So you all know that I either do bottom left, top right, bottom right, top left. But when I do the bottom part, the equivalent on the top is a smaller version. Yeah, because we will have less space. So these two flowers are going on at the end, and they are for my flower tower. The leaves are going in next. So the leaves, I know where they're going. And I have used both of the different types from the Lovely Leaves set. So we've got the open one and we've got the solid one. So let's get these on first. What time is it? 9 o'clock. So I'm all right for a couple of minutes. So the solid ones are going in first. And that means I can lift that up, tuck that underneath. I can do the same down here. A little bit of glue gel. Do you see now why I've made the leaves a little bit redder? So they stand out next to the flowers. Then we've got the double, in fact I'm going to show you, oh no I'm not, I ain't got time. The Lovely Leaves are worth having, everybody. If you haven't got the Lovely Leaves, it's another one of those things that's getting towards the end. And I won't restock them. I know I keep saying that to you all, but I'd rather tell you and then you can make your own decisions whether you need them or not. But I'm saying everybody needs to have the Lovely Leaves before you can't get them anymore. Oh, so good. So we've got the threes on the bottom left and we've got the 2s on the top right. I promise you, when I've had my apple crumble, I'll sit and read the comments and reply to you if you've asked me a question. Oops. Oh, it's so beautiful. And then the open leaves are going next to the triple ones at the bottom, just for a point of difference. Do you see how fab the clocks look in the background, everybody? Look. And for some reason the clocks work with autumnal colours, don't they? Like time to reflect and all that malarkey. I know I'm whizzing around, but I'm just doing what I normally do. I love the fact that we've got 2 different styles of leaves in one die set. Right, almost done. Sentiments. I'm covered in glue and glue gel, so I'm going to whiz these out with my scissors. And I am just following the actual design of the stamp, so I'm using the outer layer. Love the trio frame. This is the is this Mindful that I'm using, because sometimes it's nice to just have nice words instead of all the typical sentiments. So live moments. Love that. Could be for absolutely anything, this. Super easy to cut out. I'm sorry I've missed all your comments, but I've been a bit full on with this demo. Which I knew I would be. I knew it was an involved one, but we needed it. We needed it. You deserved it, and I deserved it. So my sentiments. Oh, look, because it's a top fold as well, it looks fabulous. Look at that. So the sentiments are going, let's decide where we want them. Live. Oh, I can cover that inky bit up. I'm going to put moments in first and then make live fit in. So moments is going in first. And then I can balance that now with live. And then we've got 2 more jobs to do. I was right with the no glitter. Ooh, decisions. Yeah, I'm going with my instinct. Last 2 little daisies. We've got the butterfly to put on, but we are almost done. And if my apple crumbles cold, who can I blame? I can't blame anybody. Please don't read the comments, you'll have a migraine, Phil. That bad, Jean. So we're having little flower. Little flower. It's not going to go in an envelope, obviously. So opposite side. I don't know whether I want the butterfly on it. I know. Controversial. Controversial. Oh, now the Phill side of me is saying yes, put the butterfly on. But the crafter side of me is saying don't, so I'm not. So we're going to finish off with just a couple. I don't even think I need these. No, I'm not. I'm not putting them on. I'm not even putting the random gems on. I don't think it needs it. And there you go, everybody. So one top fold DL card with a floating aperture frame and dusted flowers, which is what these are. You can see the colours in the flowers now a little bit better now it's on the card as well. I've absolutely loved making that. The clocks actually add a lot of lovely texture to this. And there we go. I've got to say I've loved making that. In fact, you might see me make something very similar again. Don't contaminate the butterfly. And there we have it. So it only took me 2 hours, 10 minutes. But we got there. It's a shame you can't see the texture from the paint because it's actually got lots of lovely stippling texture. So I know Saz is probably trying frantically to take a photo. So let's get that somewhere decent for Saz to take the picture. So while Saz is doing that, we will do all the stuff that we need to do. So change my glasses back to the other ones. And then I'll be able to see the computer. So get on the links, you need the daisy dies and you need the ovals and you need the paints and you need the greyboard. In fact, you need everything that I've used tonight if you've not already got it. If you have already got it, what a cracking way to use them. Remember as well, everybody, if you've not got the exact paint colours that I've used, try this in different pinks with maybe a purple thrown in, or something that contrasts the colours. So, I need my apple crumble, Judy. So, as always, let's do the giveaways. So, I don't know what I can give away tonight. Karen, are you there? You need to tell me what I can do for a giveaway. Yeah, I'm still here. Still here, Georgine. I've been here forever. Yeah, it didn't need the butterfly and it didn't need the gems either. I agree. Oh, thank you. So for anybody who's new, welcome. And that is typical of what I would probably do on my demos. I'm just waiting for Karen to tell me what I can give away. I honestly can't remember. I don't know what to do. She might have gone for a dinner herself. I know what I'll do. I'll do. What can I do? Just give me a minute to think. Karen, tell me what I can give away for this. I know what we'll do. We'll do a set of the what do you call it? The trio frame stamps. So not the ones that I've used. It'll be one of the other sets. So let's just get this done and then I can go and get my crumble. So if you haven't yet, please do like and subscribe to the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page. We are now, I think, just around the 10,000 followers. So thank you very much. As soon as we get over the 10,000 and it stays over the 10,000, I'm going to do a fabulous giveaway on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page. And even Karen was shocked when I told her how much. So if you haven't yet, please do get on and like and follow the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page. The same with the shop Facebook page, which is Honeypot Crafts. My Facebook page is Phill Crafty Martin. You'll find me more in the group and on Sentimentally Yours. Instagram, Phill M Martin. I'm not going to read it on everything. Oops, take that one off. I'm just going to do all the socials because you can see what it says. You know what my name is. The last one, if you haven't yet, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's free. The videos from my shows on TV last week will be added to the YouTube channel tomorrow as well, so you can watch them on there. So for anybody who, if your name is chosen as the winner, you need to send me a private message on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page, or give the shop a ring tomorrow after 12 and tell them that you've won a set of the trio frame stamps. I don't know which ones it'll be, but it's a treat. So over to YouTube. Let's do YouTube first. But you don't have Facebook. You need to just get it, Rob, just so you can join in the group. You're missing out. You don't need to do anything else with it. Just join the group. Anyway, so good luck, everybody. Again, just a reminder, if your name is chosen, you need to send us a private message on the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page, or give the shop a ring tomorrow and just tell them you've won the giveaway tonight. So good luck, everybody. I'm laughing at some of the comments. Oh, you are funny. You are funny. Right, so my mouse has landed on Alison B. So congratulations, Alison B. No glitter was going on the flowers. No glitter at all. So congratulations, Alison. You've won a set of the trio frame stamps. You know the drill. Private message, Sentimentally Yours page, or give the shop a ring tomorrow. So thank you to everybody on YouTube. I will see you on next Monday for a same time, same place, sneaky peek and pre-order of 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 new things. So thanks everybody on YouTube. Oh, Dory, bless you. I've just seen what you put about your ink pads. Thank you everybody on YouTube. I will see you next Monday, or I will see you on Thursday evening if you are in the Facebook group. And over to Facebook. Good luck, everybody. Let's just get to the top of the comments. I will read. Mind you, Jean's told me not to read them, so I'm not. So my mouse has landed on Heather Morrison. So congratulations, Heather. You've won one of the trio frame sentiment stamp sets. So you know the drill. There you go. You can see the dimension when I do that. Private message, name and address, and a reminder of what you've won. So thank you very much, everybody. I'm now 15 minutes late for my apple crumble. So I will see you on Thursday evening, only in the Facebook group, for our happy hour deal and demo. So thanks, everybody.